Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to learn about ESP32 pins in a very simple way, including safe pins, boot pins, communication pins, and special pins. Power and control pins, ESP32. These pins are used to give power to ESP32 and control reset it. Win 5V. This is the power input pin. You can give 5V supply here, from USB, from external power supply. It powers the whole ESP32 board, 3V3. This gives 3.3V output from ESP32. Used to power small sensors, power modules that need 3.3V. It is output, not input, normally. GND, ground. This is ground, 0V. Every circuit must connect. Sensor GND, ESP32 GND. Without GND, circuit will not work. Enable. This is the reset pin of ESP32. Low, 0V ESP32 resets. High, 3.3V ESP32 runs normally. Used for reset button, auto reset while programming. Important note, ESP32 works only on 3.3V logic level. Do not connect 5V to GPIO pins. Only Win takes 5V. Digital GPIO pins is equal to general purpose pins of ESP32. These pins can be used to read signals, input, send signals, output, generate PWM, for motor speed LED brightness, detect button press, interrupts. GPIO pins you can use. GPIO 0, 2, 4, 5, 12 to 19, 21 to 23, 25 to 27. These pins are used for LED, relay, switch button, motor control, sensors, special ADC pins shown. GPIO 34 is equal to VP, ADC. GPIO 39 is equal to VN, ADC. These are mainly used to read analog values like temperature, light, potentiometer. They're mostly input only, cannot drive LED or motor. Input only pins, ESP32. These pins are used only to read signals. They cannot send output, cannot turn on LED or motor. Input only GPIO pins. GPIO 34, GPIO 35, GPIO 36, VP, GPIO 39, VN. What you can do with them? Read sensor values, read potentiometer, read LDR, light sensor, read temperature gas analog sensors. They're mostly used as ADC analog input pins. What you cannot do? Cannot connect LED, cannot control relay, cannot drive motor, because they do not support output mode. Easy example. Think of these pins as ears of ESP32. Only listen, cannot speak. Important. These pins are best for sensors, analog input, monitoring voltage, not for LED, buzzer, relay. What are ADC pins? ADC pins allow ESP32 to read analog signals, changing voltage, and convert them into numbers. ESP32 converts 0V23.3V into 0 to 4095 digital value. So ESP32 can understand things like temperature, light, moisture, potentiometer. Two types of ADC pins. ADC 1, safe with Wi-Fi. GPIO 32 to GPIO 39. These work normally even when Wi-Fi is on. ADC 2, conflicts with Wi-Fi. GPIO 0, GPIO 2, GPIO 4, GPIO 12 to GPIO 15, GPIO 25 to GPIO 27. If Wi-Fi is on, these may not work properly. What you can use ADC pins for? Read sensor values, read LDR, light sensor, read temperature gas sensors, read potentiometer. Important rule, ESP32 ADC can read only 0V23.3V. Do not give more than 3.3V. ESP32 can be damaged. What are DAC pins? DAC pins allow ESP32 to output analog voltage. ESP32 can create a smooth changing voltage, while ADC is equal to read analog. DAC is equal to write analog. DAC pins in ESP32. ESP32 has two DAC pins. GPIO 25 DAC1, GPIO 26 DSC2. What DSC pins do? They can generate voltage between 0V to 3.3V. Used to generate audio signal, create variable voltage, generate waveform, sine, triangle, etc. What you can use DAC pins for: audio output, speaker buzzer with amplifier, signal generator, motor control via analog input, analog control circuits. What DAC pins are not for: they're not digital on-off pins. They're not high-power outputs, only small signal voltage. What is PWM? PWM is equal to pulse width modulation. It is a fast on-off signal that controls power smoothly. Instead of giving low, 0, high, 1, PWM gives on for some time, off for some time. By changing on time, we control output power. This on time is called duty cycle. What does duty cycle mean? 0% duty cycle always off, 50% duty cycle on half time, 100% duty cycle always on. So, more duty cycle is equal to more power. Less duty cycle is equal to less power. What PWM is used for? PWM is used to control LED brightness, motor speed, servo motor position, smooth control of devices. PWM pins in ESP32. ESP32 supports PWM on almost all GPIO pins, except GPIO 34, GPIO 39. ESP32 has up to 16 PWM channels, frequency up to 40 kHz, resolution up to 13 bits. What is UART? UART is equal to Universal Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter. It is a way for ESP32 to talk to other devices using two wires. Those two wires are TX, transmit, sends data. RX, receives data. So, ESP32 can send data and receive data. UART pins in ESP32. UART0, main serial. TX0 is equal to GPIO1. RX0 is equal to GPIO3. Used for programming ESP32, serial monitor, debugging. UART2, extra serial. TX2 is equal to GPIO17. RX2 is equal to GPIO16. Used for GSM module, GPS module, Bluetooth module, other microcontrollers. What UART is used for? Uploading code, printing sensor data, connecting GSM GPS, communication between boards. What UART is not? Not for power, not for analog signals, only for digital data, 0 and 1. What is I2C? I2C is equal to interintegrated circuit. It is a way for ESP32 to talk to many devices using only two wires. Those two wires are SDA, data line, sends and receives data. SCL, clock line, gives timing signal. Default I2C pins in ESP32. By default, SDA is equal to GPIO21. SCL is equal to GPIO22. You can change them in software if needed. What I2C is used for? Used to connect OLED display, RTC, clock module, temperature sensors, pressure sensors, EEPROM, IMU sensors, all using same two wires. What is SPI? SPI is a way for ESP32 to talk to other devices very fast using 4 wires. The 4 SPI wires. Moji ESP32 sends data. MISO ESP32 receives data. SCK clock gives timing. CA selects which device to talk to. Default pins. Moji is equal to GPIO23. MISO is equal to GPIO19. SCK is equal to GPIO18. CAs is equal to GPIO5. What SPI is used for? TFT LCD display, SD card, memory chips, fast sensors. What are touch sensor pins? Touch sensor pins can detect your finger touch without using a button. They work using capacitive sensing. They feel a small change in electric charge when you touch them. So instead of pressing a switch, you just touch a metal pad. Touch pins in ESP32. ESP32 has 10 touch pins. GPIO 0, 2, 4, 12, 13, 14, 15, 27, 32, 33. They are named Touch 0, Touch 1, Touch 2, Touch 9. What you can use them for: touch on-off light, touch button, door lock keypad, smart switches, touch control panels. What they are not for: not for high power devices, not for reading analog voltage, use ADC for that. Only detect touched or not touched. What are bootstrapping pins? These are special pins that decide how ESP32 starts when power is on or reset is pressed. They decide run the program. Oh, go into programming mode. So they control the startup mode of ESP32. Important boot pins in ESP32 are GPIO 0, GPIO 2, GPIO 12, GPIO 15, GPIO 0. Most important. If GPIO 0 is high, ESP32 runs your program. Low, ESP32 goes to program upload mode. That's why when we upload code, this pin is controlled automatically. GPIO 2. This pin must be high during startup. If it is low, ESP32 may not boot. GPIO 12. This pin selects the flash memory voltage. If wrong voltage is selected, ESP32 will not start properly. So be careful while using GPIO 12. GPIO 15. This pin also helps in deciding the boot configuration. Wrong connection can cause boot failure, upload problem. Why are these pins dangerous to use wrongly? If you connect LED, relay, motor to these pins, they can pull the pin high or low and ESP32 may not start at all. Safe GPIO pins are the pins you can use freely in ESP32 without causing boot problems. They do not affect startup or programming mode. Safe GPIO pins are 4, 5, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 25, 26, 27, 32, 33. You can connect LED, relay, sensors, motors, displays safely. Avoid for beginners GPIO 0, 2, 12, 15 boot pins. GPIO 34, 39 input only. One line. Safe GPIOs are the best pins to use because they don't disturb ESP32 booting. Some ESP32 pins must be used carefully because they can affect booting or work only as input. Pins to use carefully. GPIO 0, 2, 12, 15 bootstrapping pins. GPIO 34, 39 input-only pins. If used wrongly, ESP32 may not start. Code upload may fail. Output devices won't work on input-only pins. Best tip: use safe GPIOs for beginners and avoid these pins unless you know their function. That's all about ESP32 pins. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.